Hello everyone, my name is Patrick Pomalo, co-owner of Nest Immersion. Today I will show you how to install and use NestDrop, the classic version. This is free. I will do another tutorial for the Midnight and Pro version. So this is only the basic to start correctly with the application. So the first thing to do is to go on the Nest webpage. So you go into nestimmersion.ca and you select software, NestDrop. You scroll down up to get it now. You enter your name, also your email. This is mandatory. Then you select NestDrop Classic and you hit get it now. And you will receive shortly an email with a link to download the zip drive, a zip folder. So I already downloaded. So the first thing to do is to unzip it. Can takes a while because there's a lot of small file into it. This is all the presets included. It's important to not install it into program file or other write restriction folder like this one because it can cause issue or crash the application. But on the desktop is fine. Or it can be also into the download folder or my document folder, anywhere, and then you can just place a shortcut to your desktop. Okay, so now it's the extraction is complete. So before executing the main UI, it's a good thing to open the user manual and look into the installation section. And you have a link to download Spout. So you just open the link, download, choose the first link, download setup. You don't need the SDK. And then you can download just the Spout, the one at 10 megabytes. So one is download, you can just unzip it, extract all. And then execute the, go in setting and Spout setting. Just leave everything by default. Then click OK. This will generate the ini file and also the registry key needed for Spout using for across application. So now it's done. We can close that. So the next link is DirectX 9. You need absolutely mandatory the DirectX 9 June 2010 edition. This one is very specific, but it's very important. So I supply a link that you can use. You can just download the zip again. So this one is important to not just unzip it. One extract. Don't forget to execute the installation file, the X setup. Okay, now it's finished. So you don't need any more those file for DirectX 9, or you can keep it for later if you want to reinstall it. So once you did the Spout installation and also the DirectX 9 installation, now you should be able to start NestDrop. So you just click on the exe NestDrop Classic. So if you have a laptop like me with a dual video card, one in bed and one like NVIDIA, you should see this pop up telling you that do you want that it's had NestDrop to use the high performance graphic card instead of the default one. I highly recommend to say yes, because this will give you more performance, and also it's improve the compatibility with other software like Resolume using Spout. So I will say yes. And what this does, it's create, if you go into right click, display settings, you scroll down to graphics, you will create 3 entry for the main exe, but also for the Spout sender and the live preview. So all three will now use the high performance option. If you want to roll back, you can remove them or just change the option. So this is what you should see. Normally you should see maybe a line here, because now the music is playing. But I can stop it, for example. So if you don't see this line, that means that the live preview is not started. But if you see it, if you hover any preset, you should see a small preview animated with the preset in it. This is another video deck that's running behind the scene that generate those images. So they also react to the music. So I will restart the music. So now we see the view reacting strongly to the music. The first time you use NestDrop, you probably see just a white circle that's reacting to the music. This is the default with no preset. But if you click on any preset, it will load it into the video deck. So NestDrop is a music visualizer. So most presets are reacting to the music in different way, depending of the code behind. It's not all of them that react to the music, but most of them. So it's up to you to discover which one is your favorite. Also, if you check the way this is the MIME library, it's not intended to be used for VJing, but just show you what is how those are organized. So if you check into the folder, the main folder, if you go in the plugin folder, Milkdrop, you should see a folder called presets, and everything in this folder is represented with this section into the library. So you have the transition, which is the transition here, denser, etc. And the next one will be drawing. Then inside those folder, there's other subfolder that each subfolder correspond to a bookend. So this one is between June mirror on the left and June on this side. You have explosion mirror. You have explosion here. So all those is categorized like this. You can hide a section just clicking the left arrow, or you can hold the control key and clicking the arrow and will collapse or open all of them at the same time. So it's supplied with 2000 presets, but you can download a bunch of more presets for this. It's almost infinite. you can have several thousand of presets at the same time. Yeah, so if I go through all those buttons, you can see what all those does. So the first one is the settings. It's very important one. So on the first section, you have the number of active deck. So you can have up to 4 video deck at the same time. So now I put 2 of them. So as soon as you put another deck, you have the setting for the next one here. Also, you have if you want to trigger preset for the second deck, you can right click on any preset. You can also use alternate, the left alternate key, while you use a left click. And for the other video deck, you can use the right alt key or the right left shift key. So if I go through all those sliders, well, transition time is the time it takes to switch from one preset to the other. So if I go from this one to this one, this one, I click, it will take 2 seconds to do the transition. You can put it more instant, like this. Or you can take a much more longer time, like 10 seconds, to switch from one preset to the other. The transition is not a blend, it's more a complex merging between presets. And the way it's merged, it's defined with kind of combination matrix that's consider the both presets to see which is the best transition for those code generator. And even if the transition time is not at 0, you can still do an instant change. If you hold Control while you click on any preset, it will instantly change the preset. Next to it, if you want to adjust the time or any slider more precisely, you can click on the thumbnail and just use the arrow key on the keyboard to go more precise step by step. The frame rate, of course, is the frame rate of this particular video deck. So if I put it at 60, you have the frame rate here. If the GPU is not big enough or have a performance issue, you have this frame rate that will drop quickly. Be aware that if you increase the frame rate, it could also increase the speed, because most visual are dependent of the frame speed. So most of them is made to run at 30 frame. But if you still want to have a good frame rate but have a slower animation speed, here this animation speed you can use. It's not all preset that's reacting to it, but most of them does. So like this one, I just removed the second one because it's disturbing. So now it's very slow down, it's almost stop, and I can slightly increase the speed, and you can even go higher than the normal speed. If you have some preset that's are very you like this preset but it's very too fast, and you don't want to use the animation speed every time, you can hold Control and use the mouse wheel over any preset, and it will change the speed only for this particular preset. For example, if I go to 5%, something, 6%. So every time I use this one, even if animation speed is a normal, it will run it at only a 6%. But this one will speed up to the normal speed. You can put it back to 100% to remove this particular speed effect. And of course, you can increase more than 100%, up to 200%. All the other it's always related to the preset. Some of them react to it, some other not. So like this one is reacting to the zoom, but not the rotation. And for warp speed, I don't know. I don't think so. The horizontal, yes, is react to it. And vertical, yes. And stretch, hard to see. No for this one. Well, for example, this one will probably react to the stretch speed. Yes. So it's you have to try it. And wave mode is some presets use a wave function. And you can change the shape of the wave into this visual. Like this one. This is the plain visual output. So if I change the wave mode, it will change directly what the wave looks like. If you want to reset to the default position, you can right click on the slider, or you can click on any of those reset buttons. The audio section is, for example, if now it's by default it's on stereo, but for example, if you have an audio feed that only the left channel uses the audio and the right channel is your monitor or your time code and you don't want to use it, you can force it to use only the left or the right channel, and the left channel will be duplicate to the right. So it will not be affecting the visual with no audio feed. Same here if you have some section of that react to the bass or to the treble, you can modulate them with this. This one is not reacting to any of them, but like this one. I think this one is the camera movement is based on the treble. So if I remove the treble, the camera will be fixed. And if I increase the treble, now the camera starts moving. And well, this can have a several effect on different different presets. Those checkbox is to if you want to control the bass for all video deck at the same time. For example, if I have another video deck, and if I move one slider or if I change the audio settings, it will change for all video deck if all those is checked. The output is for the Spout output. So those video deck is not just a preview, it's also the visual engine. Is not made to be used directly. So that's why there's a preview size that's smaller than the real size. So you can change different aspect ratio, but you have to restart the video deck to take it in effect. Also, the Spout resolution, but well, could be anything, could be even bigger than your screen. but more is bigger, more it takes resources, of course. Also, if you want to use it into another software like Resolume, let's see. We'll start Resolume. I'll just change my composition setting. Oops. So you will find the Spout source into the source. If you scroll down up to the bottom, you have Spout server, and you have NestDrop deck 1 and deck 2. So if you use it like this, and if you can see the preview, or if you can see it, deck 1, deck 2, that means everything is working correctly. If you try to use it and you get an error message like cannot create OpenGL context, that means that both applications don't use the same GPU, and Spout cannot cross to separate GPU. So we have another tutorial that show you how to fix that. But mostly, if you say no at the first question, do you want to use high performance mode? It could be the cause of this. So no, if you have this question, do you want to use the high performance mode? Say yes. So I just quick. Okay. So this is for the deck tab for the Classic. With Midnight and Pro, we have more option, but for the Classic, it's all. You have also here some reminder of all hotkey you can use with the keyboard to trigger a preset or a sprite directly from the library to a particular video deck. In the general tab, you have well, show preset name. Is that what it said? So if you check it, you get all the preset name in front of the thumb. But honestly, most of them, the name is not relevant to what they do. So instead of using it, it takes a lot of memory. Mostly if you have several thousand of presets, just remove them will save you a lot of video memory and save you also the time for the loading. Load preset preview, it's all those small image. So if you remove it, well, it's not now it's loaded, so we will keep it. But the next time, if you don't check it, you just have black everywhere. So probably just for advanced user. Also, if you import Milk file, that's preset files that don't have a preview with it, a time image. For example, if you go back to this list of presets, all presets have a small JPEG file. It's a 150 by 150, which have exactly the same name as the Milk file, but not the same extension. So this is the thumbnail of the Milk file. So if you import Milk file from another Milkdrop version, you will not have those image come with it. So it will appear like with a question mark as icon over it. So if you want to generate automatically those presets, you can execute this macro, follow the instruction, because it can take a while if you have several dozen of presets. So just let it run and you will see all those images pop up during the creation. This one is for a legacy feature. If you have an old Milkdrop user and you probably have some know about the rating, all preset files have a rating ratio between 0 and 5. You can set them with your favorites. So if you use this technology and you want to use it, tag it into the library with the favorite color associated with those favorite tag. Just click the update fav tab macro, and will scan all your milk file and will apply a favorite color tag on each of them. Live preview is what I mentioned, is when you over your mouse over a preset, you get animated preview. You can change the size, bigger or smaller, just the same size of the dummy image. I prefer a bit bigger. Animate or not, well, if you remove it, it just pop up instantly. If you animate, it will just make a small zoom movement. The auto change mode is for the auto change. I will explain you a little bit later what is the auto change, but by default is instant. But you can set it to next volume peak. That means if it tried to change the preset, but there's music drop, like silence or like a very low volume during a small drop, it will hold the change into the presets and into the video deck, and will wait up to the next volume rise or a maximum of timeout to change the preset. This helped to get a more tight visual change with the mood of the music. Resync BPM clock on preset sprite activation. So if you enable this, well, you see the gray color bar here, the progress bar. It resets automatically when it's reached the number of beat. But if I activate any preset, it will reset to 0. So it's a way to resync the beat auto change with the music. So you can activate any preset yourself, and this will reset the counter. If you don't want to use it, just uncheck it, and it will not affect the progress with any preset change. Log performance info history is if you check this, well, every time you change the preset, it will create a folder with performance history with a CSV file with the name is the date and hour you started your session, and inside you have a list of all presets you played during the session. Autosave current user profile. Well, if you check it, every 5 minutes, it will save into your default user profile XML, or if you load any other user file, it will save in them every 5 minutes. Topmost enable on new queue windows. Yeah, this I'll show you with what is a queue window first. Queue windows is a way to do a kind of playlist for presets, and this is highly recommended instead of using directly the library for live performance. Highly suggest to go through the library, select your favorite preset, like this one, just drag and drop it in any queue window, in an empty queue window. If you want to clear it, just clear the X button. Just before, I want to show you those PSTM. Those are tagged that to show you what is inside the queue. It's a preset queue, it's a sprite queue, it's a text queue, or MIDI queue. Well, NestDrop Classic don't support MIDI, but the tag is still there. Also, there's a setting queue. So all of them have different options. So if I go back with, if I drag a preset into it, Now it's become a preset here. This is not a button. You cannot interact with it. It's just a flag. If you want to drag more than one, you can use the bookend. That's, for example, glow stick. If you click in this section behind, under or above the dash line, so under is glow stick, so you can drag all this section at once, or you can drag this full denser preset at the same time. So what is the difference between using the library and using a curve window? But the main feature is you can use it with auto change. With now it's not active because the outline is gray, but if you double click in the title, now it's become with a solid outline. So it's red because it's made by default for the deck 1. But if you set it to the deck 2, it will be green, blue for the deck 3, and yellow for the deck 4. So now it's active. You can use, for example, the spacebar to trigger the next preset. Also, you can activate the auto change trigger. So once it's activated, you have the progress bar is now become green. So every time it will hit the 32 beat here, it will switch to the other presets. Also, what you can do is, or you can associate hotkey with all those presets. So, for example, if I type in a hotkey, well, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just your keyboard, you can drag this into, for example, the first one, and we'll associate each number of this text to each preset. So now you can just press 5, for example, to trigger the preset associated with number 5. Also, I didn't mention it, but you see in the right corner, you see a small X2. This is the number of, it's a count number. So I used this preset 2 times since I start NestDrop. So it's not functional. It's just to give you an idea of which preset I use during my show or not. So like those one is all X1. That means I use them at least once since the beginning of this tutorial. Also into the beat, even if the master is made to 32 beat, I can also change it individually in my curve, because I can have more than one curve. But I cannot have, well, I cannot make it active if it's empty. But if I have, for example, other preset into it, or you can have the same preset in more than one curve, I cannot make it active. If I make it active, the other one is become inactive. If I start this one, after it will switch to the next one at every 16 beat. So I can change individually this one to change at every 4 beat, for example, to get it faster. Or I can activate this one if I use it for the deck number 2. So it will activate them as well. The buff, it's slider, it's a beat offset. That means even if I set them to the same number of beats, they should be synced together, so they will change exactly at the same time. But if I don't want to be them to be changed at the same time, I can set the bit offset to, for example, at 50%. So now they change alternative in sequence. So one, then the other. So it's a possibility of more effect you can do. If not, the other option, well, you have shuffle. So if I click this one, you'll be warned that it will change all the other. So if I click yes, now everything is messed up, but it will still play in the left to right order. You just shuffle once all preset in the queue window. This one is for clear the queue completely. This small pin is to make it topmost. So for example, if I use my library and move it, it will never go over it. Or even if I open another software like a Resolume will not go over those topmost windows. It's always topmost. If I want to remove it, just uncheck that, and now it can be hiding under it. The lock is the lock, so that means that I cannot move any preset, I cannot change any shortcut, any hotkey about it. By the way, if I want to remove a preset from a queue and you don't want to clear, just remove one. You just drag it back to the main library, and it will remove this one. Also, what is new with the new version is the magnet feature. So if I click this one, you have some magnet in the corner, each corner of the window. If you have just one queue window that have the magnet activated, it does nothing interesting. But if you have more than one, like this one and this one, if you slide very close, it will stick like this, like a magnet. And if you move slowly, you can move them together. But if you move fast, you will be able to detach them without removing. And just if you want to replace them quickly, like this. It works also to resize. If I want to resize it directly the same size, just it will snap to the right size. Also, if you have a smaller windows, you can snap one at the bottom. And you can snap another one on top, like this. Also, if you want to activate one of those features, like pin on, for all queue, you can all control while changing the state, and it will all change at the same time. For the lock, for example. Well, also, if you close a window, you will not destroy them. You can get them back with right-click on the queue windows button. Now you have open windows, there's nothing, but in the close section, you have all those windows I open and I close. So I can bring them back with all the content. If you want to destroy completely a window, you have to empty them completely. So you hit the clear queue, you close it, and when you save it, the next time you open it, it will not open this windows. So now I have two closed that are empty. So if I just reopen my default windows, if I check now, all those are clear, and only the one with some preset inside it is kept. So that's it for the cure window. There's other type of cure you can do. This is a preset cure, but you can also use setting cure. For example, if I use this particular setting, and you like this one, you can drag this icon into an empty cure, and now it's become a setting cure. So every time I will click on this, it will place alt slider in this safe position, and you can put it back everything by default, for example, and save it into another setting cure. And you can see on the small icon that now the drawings change. So this is the exact position of the slider in this setting and in this setting. So if you click on this, it will slowly change the slider value to the safe position, and the time it takes, it's the T2. That means it will take 2 seconds to go from one or to the other position. If you want to change the time, you can change the time here. You can make it instant and just put it back. Now the time is 0. So this one takes 2 seconds to slide up, and then if you click this one, it will reset instantly. Also, what you can do with this cure settings, with another empty cure, you can drag the full deck inside the cure. So this is new from the new version. So you can drag from the title, just drag and drop it into empty cure, and now this become a floating window. So what is the main advantage to do that versus to have it in this windows? It's interesting if you have more than one video deck. So you can have the one floating like this, and you can put them side by side. You can even change the size to something very obvious or not. You can activate the magnet also and stick them together. This is all only to help you to organize your desktop with all those floating windows. So if you want to bring it back to your to the sitting windows, just clear the cure, and the video deck will come back to its default position. So the next thing, activate the magnet on the new cure windows. If you activate it, every new cure, they will have the magnet activate by default. Render compatible preset in Anaglyph 3D. This is a kind of trippy one. For example, just close that. If I check this, remember the Anaglyph 3D with cardboard glasses with the red and blue eyes. This is Anaglyph 3D. So there's a function that not all of them that react to it, but some of them is very trippy, like a supernova. Like this one is very trippy. So if I activate or not, you'll probably see some lines that are duplicated, and you have blue and red shift from it, depending of the warping. So if you activate it and you look at it with an Anaglyph image, you will see a 3D shape based on this preset visuals. Next thing is the modulate animation speed with BPM. So you remember this slider animation speed. So if I check that, every time the BPM will change, it will adjust the animation speed related to it. So at 128 BPM, that's set at this reference, it will set the animation speed at the normal position. Now it's not changing. So if I change myself, I right click in the BPM, I place it maybe at 120, and I left click in the background. So now it changed the animation speed position related to, so it's under 128. So it's now slower. If the music goes up with the beat, the animation speed will follow. So if you want to change, for example, the BPM in manual mode like this, you can right click and you use the mouse wheel to change the value, and left click or enter to accept the new number. If you want to go back to auto, you just double click in this part and we'll go back to auto. And in auto, the BPM is detected with the same visual engine that create the view and also the live preview. So it's it's an algorithm that try to find the best BPM related to the music and also find the timing of the BPM. That's it. This button here is to, if you want to play it, if you don't use, it's not the same thing as the shuffle. It's always related to the auto change. But for example, instead of playing in sequence, they will playing randomly into the video deck, the queue windows. What else? Here you have a search box, so you can find any sentence like fire. It's always related to the name, so all those should have fire in the name. For example, liquid fire. And you can also enter more than one sentence. For example, sky. So it will be a logical OR. So it'll be all preset with either fire or sky will be listed in the library. And once you make a kind of filter like this with a search filter, if you want to use to copy all of those into your a new queue, you can just drag the title. It will copy only the visible one, even if the fractal, in fact, is have a lot more of presets. You will only copy those that was revealed with the filter. What else? Here is the favorite stars. So, for example, if you really like this preset, well, you can tag them with a color. Just drag any star on any preset. This is only for you for organization, because there's a lot of presets, so it's easy to find them after, because you can activate the filter, so it will show all just red, or red and green. There's no green. Red, green, and blue. This one is blue and yellow. Or you can trigger all of them off or on using the empty star. If you want to remove a favorite, you can drag the empty star over it. And also the favorite should follow if you copy it to a new queue. So it helps also for the organization. You can also change the name of the queue. Just type a new name and drag it directly in the title bar. So it will change it to some name. What we can do, there's some other nice feature you can find into the manual. If you leave your mouse, you can have also a resume of everything. Also, if you hit enter while you enter something into the deck like this, it will send the text into the video deck. So be careful. Also, if you drag the text into a completely empty queue, this will create text queue windows. It doesn't work. Hold Control. Yes. So if you drag text with holding Control key to create a text queue window. So every time I will click on this new button, it will show the text into the visuals. So you can do it more than one at the same time. You can also hold Control and use the mouse wheel to change the effect, default effect. So you have 100 different effects. I don't know them by heart, but for example, if I try FX45, I click on it, well, it changed completely the way it's displayed. Yes, so the last thing I want to show you is probably the Sprite, which is also something very interesting. So if you scroll down up to completely the end, now you have a bunch of image, which is called Sprite image Sprite. Those can be used to show, for example, logo into the visuals. Midnight and Pro have Spout Sprite also. They can inject video into it. But for example, if I use only those image, you can click on, you have an overlay on nested. The difference is subtle, but if I go with overlay, you have the image over it. And you have some trail behind it. So it's part of bit of the animation. But if I remove it and you just nested, now we can see it. Well, this is not a good example. If I go back, for example, if with just like this one. So in nested, what it does is injecting the image at the beginning of the video process. So now you can still see it, but it's all green. It's not well defined. But when you do overlay, it's injecting at the beginning and another layer at the end of the visual process. So what it does, so you have the trail just like the nested does, and affecting the visuals. But after they place another layer with the image of it. So it's hard to see with this effect, but if you hold Control, you can also change the effect for this particular preset, sprite, sorry. And also you can react to the music depending of the function. This one is not very helpful, like this. And also there's some option like burn in or not. So now 99 is not making any trail, but 98 will make some trail of it while moving. This is the burn option, and all those options can be changed or visualized into the ini files are located into the plugin. And this is for the image here. So if you open it, this ini file, you have a list of all those effects. So the 00 is the default, but then you have the effect number 1, 2, 3, and up to 99. And at the end, you have a resume of all functionality you can do if you want to code it yourself. But for example, the 98 does some exactly the same thing as 99, but the burn effect is on. Like in 99, the burn effect is 0. So that's why 98 makes some trails like this, and 99 don't. Also, the blend mode have some effect with the transparency. This is all more advanced feature of knowledge, and can be covered with another tutorial about this. If you want to activate it, just left click for the deck 1, and to remove it, just left click again on the same sprite, or click on another sprite. If you want, you can also use more than one. For example, if you hold, I just changed the animation. So if you want to use it more than one, I try to find one that is not too invasive. Okay, like this one. I'll just change to another preset. It's always interesting, like this. So now you have one. If you want to go back to the active presets, just left click in the button here. It will bring you to the active presets. If you want to find the one sprite active, just Control and left click. They will bring you to the active sprite if you have one. So if you want more than one preset, you can hold Control key and click again. And now we have 2 instances of it. Now 3, now 4, 5. You can have a lot of different, bunch of those at the same time. So if you want to remove it, just left click and it will remove them one after the other up until the number is 0. Of course, you can use it in a queue window. Make it active. You can have preset active for deck 1 and also a sprite active for deck 1. So both can be changed together. By default, just dragging them, it's overlay, but you can change it. You can force them to be. Now it's a button. Before it's not activate, but with Sprite it's different. You can force the mode with all nested, all overlay or all by default, because by default could also change if you put it individually. If you use your mouse and nested before dragging, now into the queue will be keep nested if you use by default, but you can force them all nested or all overlay. So that's it. So you can change, for example, with the bit offset. So you can change the sprite before the preset change, or alternate between them. There's no smooth transition with the sprite. The image is appearing or not. There's no transition like preset. With this slider, it doesn't affect the sprite. So that's it. I hope you enjoy those features. Of course, there's a lot of different things to do. Maybe a final thing I can show you is if you want to use a folder that is not inside the preset folder, like this one, there's a bunch of other preset that's not part of the package. Well, you can create an empty queue windows and drag the full folder into it. Yeah, it's long because there's 12,000 preset into it, but now it's become a folder explorer. So you have the name of the folder with 2 brackets. That means it's a special folder, even if it's a preset folder. You can use it just like normal preset folder, but you cannot drag, remove, or you cannot change because it's partly locked. And if you remove some preset or change something into the folder, you can click on the refresh to refresh all of them. Also, it works for image folder. For example, if I have a folder here with some image, I can drag them, and now it's become a Sprite folder. So every time I change, if I delete or I add a new image in my folder, I can just click on refresh to refresh the content of my folder. So everything I mentioned is also part of the manual. So I hope you are a better VJ than me for the tutorial. I'm not very good, to be honest. But we hopefully to see your work on Reddit. If you if you want to share them with Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, just use hashtag NestDrop to easily to find them, and enjoy this free software. We always open to suggestion and feature request. Hope you enjoy it, and you can look at the next tutorial for the more advanced feature for the NestDrop Pro and NestDrop Midnight. So stay tuned. Bye bye.